How's it going, guys? Hope you guys are on a great week. So I'm back today. Today we're actually going to watch the Night City Wire episode 2. We got another live stream today by CD Projekt Red, which is going to showcase more of Cyberpunk 2077. I wasn't able to watch this live due to getting back from work and things, but I am tuning in now and we're going to watch this episode. I'm really, really hyped for this. A lot of what's being covered in this is stuff I'm really interested in from what we've heard in the news, so I'm really looking forward to seeing more and checking it out. So let's jump in. This is going to be a full first time reaction to the video. Let's jump in and see what Cyberpunk 2077 is looking at and looking like, and I'm like so hyped. I can't wait. Okay, let's go.
You don't believe in no fate. Every day digging the grave. Step in the pit with the snakes. City of dreams, city of...
So hyped for this. I seriously am.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Night City Wire. This is the show from us at CD Projekt Red, where we talk about all things Cyberpunk 2077. In today's episode, we're going to be deep diving into Lifepath and showing you a brand new gameplay video, as well as having a chat to Philip from our quest team. Then we're going behind the scenes and taking a look at how Refused to bringing the band Samurai to life. And then we're showing you another new gameplay video and having a chat to Pavel, our senior gameplay designer, about just some of the tools of destruction that'll be at your disposal in Night City.
Hell yeah.
So let's get started.
Right,
Street
I'm
Kid,
just gonna
Nomad, or
lower down the volume just slightly.
First?
Okay, so this is the part I'm really interested in, the RPG element of it, and which backstory to choose, because it does affect where you start in the game. So I'm very much looking forward to this. This is always the hardest thing for me to choose in an RPG.
Well, who do we have here? Grew up in Haywood. Whole street was my family. Neighbors helped each other out. Thought nothing of it.
The game just looks so good, man. Like the facial animations, like it just looks so freaking crisp.
Born here, live here, die here.
My God, I can't wait.
Memories. Hopping buildings, running away from badges. Iron tasted blood from a split lip. Motherfucker. Got everybody fighting for a slice of the street.
Get the fuck out of Vista.
If you keep getting jumped, you find some stronger choopers.
Do you want to spend the rest of your days blasting scabs? Or become a legend overnight?
We have arrived. The Major.
Ready to get your cherry bobbed? Yeah, come on.
My childhood?
So cool.
Let's see. Racing my bobber for the first time through the hills. Oh, and first kiss in the middle of a synth cornfield.
We nomads choose who to make our family. A choice forges strong bonds and a higher duty that stands solid as an old oak.
Oh, dude, character, because
my family's in pieces.
Amazing.
That's why I'm headed for Night City.
Makes you an outcast among outcasts.
Miss this, you know? Camaraderie.
I know. I saw it in your heart the first time we met.
Know what I always liked about nomads? Your taste, no, hunger for freedom. Not easy to come by in Night City.
Corpse got their grubby claws and everything.
Corpo. This is another one I'm really interested in, is the Corpo.
I have those reports you asked for.
They were supposed to be ready yesterday.
The world's going to tear us apart when the word gets around.
The world's never going to find out.
If I go down, you're going down with me. No! I'm not fucking joking!
This isn't a request, V.
But no way you're fucked, right? You're the one who fixes other people's shit.
If you're working Arasaka counter intel, you're always fucked.
Today, they got you to zero somebody. Tomorrow, they'll get somebody else to zero you.
Damn.
What's the rules, Jack? Want to be top? Gotta have some skin in the game.
Yeah, but you're not on top. Saburo Arasaka is. And you're the pendejo who keeps in there. Work for yourself, live for yourself. That's the only way.
Dude, I don't know who to choose. I think I'm leaning towards going as a street kid, because I think that would be really cool. But I'm also torn. I'm kind of interested in the corpo backstory too. So I don't know which one to choose. Maybe street kid. I think might do my first playthrough as street kid.
So I think for today we'll start with a question that everybody wants to know: how does the path you pick affect your time in Night City?
It actually affects your time quite a lot throughout the whole game, but let's start at the beginning, because basically our game has 3 different starts depending on your life path. As an example, if you choose the street kid life path, you have lived most of your time in Night City. You know the streets, you know the gangs, you know the slang, you kind of know what's going on in the, let's say, lower life aspects of the city, which can of course give you lots of good opportunities also later on in the game. But if you start as a nomad, you actually used to be part of a nomad clan and a nomad family, because nomads that roam the deserts around Night City, that we call the Badlands, actually value their family above anything. But for one reason or another, you actually left that family behind, and now the beginning of the game for you will actually be how to get into Night City and how to make a new life there.
It's interesting.
Then you can also choose to actually be a corpo and choose the corporate life path. And that basically means that you're not at home in the streets of Night City or in the deserts of the Badlands, but actually inside the boardroom, because you rose the corporate ladder of the Arasaka Corporation, which basically gives you the ability to sometimes, read between the lines, read people when they're trying to do business, which of course can give you many nice opportunities later on.
So this isn't just about the start of the game. Can you maybe help people understand how this translates into the gameplay?
Yeah. So the thing is, we make Cyberpunk a real RPG, and part of that is that you can play your character from the start to the end. And of course, we have these life paths affecting the beginning of the game, but we wanted to make it so you have your life path opportunities throughout the whole game until the game is over. Okay. And as an example, we do that by giving you additional options and dialogues. So I can give you one specific example. And this is a mission where you have to steal a flathead robot from the Maelstrom gang. Basically, those Maelstromers stole that flathead before from a corporate transport.
So
and the owner of that corporate transport, Meredith Stout, wants you to do something else. And this is an optional objective. And even within that objective, we want to give you some options. So as an example, if you have a corporate life path, you basically know what Meredith Stout is really about. You can read between the lines, and you can get some additional options that maybe actually later enable you to do a completely different thing with the Maelstrom gang. And if you're a nomad, you know exactly some more details about how these Maelstromers would have even been able to steal a robot like that from Meredith Stout, who's part of the very powerful Militech Corporation. As a street kid, we, as an example, don't give you a specific new dialogue option in that dialogue, because as a street kid, you do not have a lot of experience dealing with higher-up people like Meredith Stout. But we want to give you additional options that fit your life path very well. So later, when you actually talk to the Maelstrom gang, one member of the gang offers you some illegal substance, but as a street kid, you actually know what this is about. You can talk some shop with him, and that might actually make that character like you a little bit more.
So Philip, I do have a couple of extra questions for you based on the video we just saw. And the first is about nomads. So the nomad life path, this starts in a place called the Badlands.
I love it.
Is this somewhere you get to visit even if you don't pick nomad to start with?
Yes, absolutely. So the thing is, Night City is surrounded by this huge landscape that we call the Badlands. And you can go there whenever you want. So as an example, if you actually do play the nomad life path at the start and you are in the Badlands, you can even see Night City on the horizon.
Oh wow,
and
that's cool.
We want to give you the option later in the game, if you want, you can just take your car and drive out of the city. You can go there whenever you want. Thing is, you might not want to, because the Badlands can be a pretty dangerous place at first, because time has not been very kind to the Badlands.
Maybe it's level gated,
there have been
so you
many
have to be a
wars
certain level
in the past.
before you go out
There's
there.
global warming, so most people that do live out there don't really have another choice about it, or are nomads that love this life and are all about it and are very battle hardened. We of course also want to tell their stories, because we want to tell many different stories throughout the cyberpunk genre, which means that you will also find missions that lead you out in the Badlands or where you deal with the people living there.
So Philip, can you tell us a little bit more about the character, Padre? He's the guy we see giving his business card to Street Kid V in the video. Who is this man?
Yeah, so Padre is actually one of the fixers in Night City. And fixers are people that work as intermediaries. So if someone who has a lot of money needs a problem solved, they go to a fixer. And a fixer then finds people who can solve that problem. And these people are people like you, V, cyberpunks. Fixers are very territorial. So Padre specifically works from Haywood, which is where you as a street kid grew up in, so you already know him. You might have already seen another one of our fixers who is called Dexter Deshawn, and he works in a different part of the city.
Sounds like they give you all their missions in the car, like that kind of.
But even if you played other Lifepaths, you might sooner or later meet him because he's operating in Haywood, which is a pretty big place with many good jobs. So if you want to make some cash there, you will sooner or later deal with Padre.
Philip, thank you so much for joining us. Now, on my first playthrough, pretty sure I'm going to be picking Nomad, but for those watching, we would love to know what you'll be picking. So have a think about it and send us a tweet.
I think maybe Street Kid or Corpo. I'm not 100% sure. I'm very curious to hear which you guys will be playing as. Let me know in the comment section below which Lifepath you're going to choose and why you're interested in that. I think for me it's going to be Street Kid maybe. I'm going to play female V and maybe Street Kid. Maybe, I think so.
Like radio stations and even the original score. But today we're going to take a look behind the scenes at how Refused to bringing Johnny Silverhand's band Samurai to life.
Cool. I bet you the music's going to be amazing in Cyberpunk. The music's going to be so awesome.
I would write these lyrics for myself. So it's kind of interesting to get into like the mindset of who is this character and what would they write about, or what's their agenda.
The music in The Witcher 3 was incredible. I have the soundtrack and it's amazing. So
and try to catch a language that's
there's
part
Keanu.
of this game.
It's fucking cool. So freaking cool. I kind of want that samurai t-shirt. It looks cool. Oh, nice. So maybe Polish?
Piotr, maybe, who
Swedish.
was a fan of the band.
Okay. He knew Refused and he knew my voice, and he said, "Oh, that's a perfect voice for Johnny."
And that they wanted, I guess, a sound that was a bit contemporary from when Johnny's supposed to have had the band, because he's sort of like an anti-establishment kind of guy.
Gonna drag a corporal rat on stage, make him kneel, douse him with gas, then light him up.
So of course there are things that you can relate to, and like just like this outcast and this rebel that's fighting against like the corporals. And
I wonder if these are like flashbacks. You get flashbacks into Johnny's life because he's in V.
He's like the future version of us. You know?
Like an AI version of him. So I wonder if we get actual flashbacks.
So I think it
him.
makes sense. I think it totally makes sense for us to be here making these songs about him or for him. You know? So it's pretty cool.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to the music in Cyberpunk. I'm totally going to get the album, I think.
Yeah, but like, why the vibrato?
And then, I mean, just sort of build, slowly build sort of intensity.
We don't have a different mode than just going all in. So we really worked on these songs, trying to make them as good as possible. But then they're not actually our songs.
It's interesting as a musician to play another musician, because that's essentially what we're doing. I mean, we're not here as Refused, we're here as Samurai. And I'm here as Johnny Silverhand, you know? So it's like the voice we're representing here is someone else.
We'll never fade away!
It's been a mind fuck.
Yeah, I can imagine. I always think the music is a hugely important part of games. It really does complement the story. It's quite an important part of a game for me.
I mean, the shouting in itself is just like
particularly when it
second
comes
nature
to
me,
sort
because I've been doing
building
this
the
for a very
world.
long time. But then when someone comes in and says,
I'm happy with everything except for Azza Lynn. Again, it's Azza. Azza. Okay.
the shouting's great, but think of that accent, or think of that like enunciation. It's a bit weird because it's a very different way of singing when you're screaming like that, and it's hard to sort of
Swallowing some syllables there.
adjust your accent.
Oh yeah, just try it again.
So it's been a bit kind of frustrating.
It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great.
But I mean, I get it. I mean, we have to maintain the illusion that this character that's a character of the game also is me, like when I'm singing it. So it makes sense. But yeah, it's
so
it's
cool.
a bit different to have someone telling you exactly how to enunciate things, because I'm not used to. Usually people are just like give me a thumbs up, and then like you think the things like the rhythm, and you think about the pitch, and you think about all these things. But then someone comes in and like that word sounded weird. I'm like, what? No, that's how I sing. But so it's been a very a bit painful at times, but it's all right.
See this soon, I'm chipping in. Roll the bones, I'm chipping in. Belt that cone, I'm chipping in. Mayhem close.
It's a very interesting thing to be part of. As a person that's not a gamer, I don't think I fully understand the impact that this might have. If people like these songs and if people are excited, then that's going to be great.
You could sell an album on this. You could sell an album.
Trying to get this right.
Just
trying to get
Samurai.
it to sound like like Samurai would sound.
So
So
cool.
it's quite interesting. It's a very different way of making music, actually.
Oh my god, November cannot get here
You can
soon
already
enough.
find 3 Samurai tracks
They're getting
available
awesome.
on streaming services: Chippin' In, Never Fade Away, and The Ballad of Buck Ravers. But we're excited to announce a 4th new song called A Like Supreme, which is coming to streaming services today. That means you can check it out once the show is over.
I kind of don't want to
Don't
check it out
forget that
before
if
the
you're
game
tuning
comes
in
out.
late, or if
I'd
you just want
rather
to watch anything
just
again, we will be
listen to it for the
uploading
first time when I'm
everything to
playing the
our
game.
channel soon. Next up,
So-
Pavel and I are going to introduce you to some creative ways that you can solve problems in Night City.
These are the weapons. Yeah, tools of destruction. The weapons look very cool when we got to see them before. I'm kind of thinking,
I have a job for you. A client of
every
mine
time you
is
see
making
it,
an arms
it looks
deal.
better
He
and
needs
better.
protection. It could get hot, very hot. The gun dealers are Maelstrom. Alas, nothing ever transpires as planned with them. You better gear up for this.
So cool. Tech weapons, yeah, those look always good. Semi-automatic chargeable. Pierces concrete like cardboard. Sniper rifle. Oh my. What I like about the guns is they all have character. They all look really good. And this, just the attention to detail, the little things in it. That's important for me, if I'm doing a first-person shooter. One of the things I love about Borderlands, Again, smart weapons look cool. I like that. That's my gun right there. Reminds me of a concussive shot from Mass Effect. I want that katana, dude. Does it like block bullets? Cyberware. Oh yeah. Oh my god. Gorilla arms. Oh, okay, that's like melee. Dude,
Sophie,
man.
are you Willing?
Oh, I'm willing.
Yeah, I'm in.
Holy crap. The guns in this game look so cool. They really do. I like that you've got a range,
Pavel, thank you so much for joining me. Now, there was an
so you don't have
awful
to
lot in that video,
always
right?
do
Because it's
stealth and
more than
stuff.
just guns.
Absolutely. We have melee weapons, we have ranged weapons, we have cyberware, we have offensive cyberware, defensive cyberware, armor. We could talk for hours and hours about this stuff.
I think just for today's episode, we should keep it simple and let's just talk about guns. Can you tell us the different types of guns that will be in the game?
So we have 3 distinct types of guns in our game. We have power weapons, we have tech weapons, and we have smart weapons. Now, power weapons are the most similar to contemporary weapons. One thing they can do, which normal weapons cannot, is ricochet bullets off of surfaces. So you can hit somebody hiding behind cover or hiding behind a wall.
What?
Now, tech weapons, on the other hand, use electromagnetic power to propel a fully metal projectile to extreme velocities.
Wow.
What that allows them to do is to punch through cover or punch through walls to hit somebody who's not even aware that you're there.
Jesus.
Smart weapons use guided missile technology to actually track targets in real time. So you can hit somebody who's dodging, running away from you, or you can hit somebody who's hiding behind cover.
So Pavel, Cyberpunk doesn't just contain FPS elements, right? It's also a fully fledged RPG. So can you tell us how you guys approached introducing those RPG
Can we
elements into
customize these
gunplay?
weapons?
So I can tell you one thing, Holly, it wasn't easy to merge those 2 elements together. Now, we've spent a considerable amount of time merging the RPG and FPP side of our game. What the player will experience is that V changes from a small-time mercenary to a legend in the world of Night City. V becomes more and more proficient in using weapons as the game progresses.
Okay,
so they
so
will
it's like
see
a
that
leveling.
reload times become shorter, the accuracy of your weapons grows, you will have faster aiming time, you will move faster with your weapons. Everything becomes more in your control, and that gives you more opportunities to defeat the biggest encounters that we've designed for you.
So I
So
have
there'll be boss
prepared a few
battles?
extra questions for you, Pavel, if you're feeling up to it.
Of course.
Okay, well,
what
the
he's there
first is going to
for.
be, how do you find more weapons in Night City? Like, where will players be looking for them?
So I expect the players to look everywhere for new and exciting weapons. You can, of course, buy weapons at vendor shops,
Cool.
and they will house an entire catalog of weaponry that you can get.
Sweet.
However, the best weapons that you can find will be taken from enemies or
Nice.
loot caches that we have everywhere in Night City.
Loot
The weapons
caches.
rarities range from common through uncommon
Okay.
up to rare and then legendary.
Okay.
And as they go in rarity, they actually climb in power.
So level
However,
loot,
legendary
basically.
weapons are very specific in such a way that they possess unique abilities that you will find on no other weapons in the game. The players will actually need to make some tough choices to find some legendary weapons, because maybe they need to choose whether to kill a person who holds the legendary weapons that they want, or to spare them because they like them as a character.
So next question, let's talk about weapon modifications. What mods can people give to their weapons in Night City?
Nice question.
So we have 2 types of modifications in the game. One of them would be modifications that we call attachments. So these would be scopes and silencers, and you can see them
nice.
actually
Oh,
being
I
attached to
love
your weapon
this.
as you're playing the game. They give you statistics advantage, and they give you more opportunities in gameplay.
Nice.
The other part of mods would be software mods. Now, these are basically small chips that you install in your weapon, and they actually change the statistics of the gun. They can give you damage, they can give you accuracy, or they can give you more fire rate. Some of those mods actually change the gunplay on a more fundamental level, so they can give you non-lethal rounds, biochemical rounds, to tear through that armor even faster.
Interesting.
So I suppose for my final question, why don't you tell us about your favorite weapon then? Which is your favorite weapon so far in Night City?
Oh, there are so many weapons that it's hard to choose just one. But I can mention some manufacturers with their weapons that I absolutely adore. The first manufacturer would be Tsunami Defense Systems, who produces the sniper rifle Nekomata. That's a tech sniper rifle. That means that it can pierce through walls. So you can actually hit somebody who's hiding behind cover or who doesn't even know you're there. Of course, I also like a close quarters approach. And what that needs is a shotgun. One of the shotguns that we have in the game is Budget Arms Carnage. Now that thing
Such
is
a
cut
cool way
from
to load a
pure
shotgun.
steel, and it weighs a ton. However, you can cut a person
God.
clean in half with it. Another shotgun that I absolutely love, it's for a more refined approach, I would say, is a smart shotgun, Kangtao Zhuo. That thing has 8 barrels, and that means it can track 8 targets independently.
Oh
now,
my
killing
God.
an entire room was never simpler.
Pavel, thank
Oh
you
my
so
God, that's
much for joining
amazing.
me.
Thank you for having me.
So cool.
I'm actually pretty interested to see what kind of weapons people discover when they play Cyberpunk for themselves.
I'm looking
Before
forward
we
to getting
end
hands-on with the
episode
game
2,
and
this
trying
is
the
a
weapons.
reminder that those who wish to dive deeper into the lore can now pick up The World of Cyberpunk 2077.
I've ordered
This is
this.
a brand new
I've
book
ordered this
created
book,
in collaboration
and
with Dark Horse
I'm going
Books
to use this
that
book
will
to do
give you
content
an
for the channel
extensive
and
look
do
at what makes Night
lore
City
videos
tick
and
before
things. So
jumping
I
into
have
game
ordered this, which is coming out in August.
That is it for today's episode.
At least I
Thank
got
you
told
so
it would
much
be
for
delivered in
joining us.
August.
Don't forget that if you've missed
But,
anything, or
yeah.
if you just want to watch again, we will be uploading everything to our
Oh,
channel
just
shortly.
so good.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back with Night City Wire Episode 3 soon.
So cool. Oh my God. Yes. So sold. Absolutely loved that. That was a really good episode. Blown away. Absolutely fantastic. I'm really interested in the 3 life choices, life paths. I think at the moment I'm leaning towards Street Kid, just because it sounds really cool. You know, this idea of you've always grown up in Night City, you really know it. You know, you're a kid that grew up on the streets. I kind of like that vibe of it, you know, being a little bit of a bad boy or a bad girl. I kind of like that vibe, but I am really interested in the corpo side of it as well. So I think maybe at the moment for my first playthrough, I'm leaning more towards playing as a street kid, as a female V. And then obviously on my second playthrough, I might potentially do a male V and do a corpo. I'd be super interested to hear what your guys' thoughts are and what you are going to play as and why you're going to choose that. I'm really impressed with CD Projekt Red because they have never done first-person shooters. And already the gunplay looks really satisfying. The weapons look really cool in terms of the way that they're designed. I love the fact that you can mod them and actually add pieces onto them and make them look really unique. The chip sounded really cool to sort of change the way in which the weapons work. I like the idea that you gotta get weapons as rewards for sort of taking out, you know, bigger, badder enemies. I like the idea that you can buy them as well in the marketplaces. That's really cool. Hopefully we're not going to have like loot boxes, you know, like loot chests in the world which are randomly generated, because I've never been a big fan of that. So I would like that you open up a loot cache, but you get to physically see the weapon in there. More like Borderlands, I would prefer that. But yeah, I mean, every time I see Cyberpunk 2077, I cannot get my head around how this game looks just crisper and better the more I see it. The character animations look incredible. The facial animations look incredible. The world looks incredible. I'm so freaking hyped to play this game. I have booked time off work to be able to play it. I am planning to do a let's play of it, but I'm thinking just focusing on the story in terms of uploading the main campaign for you guys, just because it's such a freaking huge game. But yeah, really blown away by episode 2. Really looking forward to episode 3. Would be really cool. So yeah, maybe we'll get to learn more about Night City in the next episode. I'm really looking forward to it and really interested. Let me know what you guys would like to see in episode 3 of Night City Wire, what you would like to see CD Projekt Red reveal. But I like these. These are just giving us little snippets and little tasters, and that's kind of exciting. And yeah, really good, really impressed. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this reaction video, of course. I am planning to do a first impressions video on the Marvel Avengers beta, which I played this weekend. So that will be coming within the next day, so look forward to that. I'm going to upload this straight away now, and looking forward to hearing your thoughts on it as well. And yeah, November cannot get here soon enough. Anyway, hope you guys have a great week. Take care, and as always, happy gaming. Bye guys.